What if I told you the key to a happier, healthier you wasn't just about the medicine, but about the data? We're about to break down some really fascinating new research that looks at how big data is changing patient care. And it all kicks off with one simple but really important question.
So, think about it. Your last trip to the doctor. Were you satisfied? Yeah, probably. But were you actually happy with the experience? See, that's a totally different thing. And it's that exact gap that the healthcare world is now trying to figure out how to close. And that's where this new study comes in. It's from the healthcare sector in Saudi Arabia, which is modernizing super fast. And it gives us this incredible look at how data is really becoming the next big thing in patient care. Because, the goalposts have totally moved. It's just not enough anymore for you to be simply satisfied with your care. The new gold standard, the thing everyone's aiming for, is something way deeper. It's called customer happiness. And this isn't about the transaction, like, did the doctor fix my problem? No, it's an emotional state. It's that feeling of being valued, being understood, and being truly connected. The research makes it clear. Satisfaction gets you in the door, but this emotional connection is what builds real, lasting loyalty. Okay, so how in the world do hospitals and clinics create this feeling of happiness for every single patient? Well, this study zooms in on two really powerful tools that are changing basically every industry out there, not just healthcare. First up, you've got big data analytics. The best way to think about it is like a super-powered detective. It's sifting through these huge mountains of clues, patient feedback, appointment times, treatment results, to find hidden patterns and help make smarter, more personal decisions. And big data isn't just a buzzword, right? It's really defined by what they call the 5 V's. It starts with volume. We're talking just a staggering amount of information. Then you've got velocity, which is the incredible speed it's all coming at us. Think about the data from your smartwatch. It's happening in real time. Next is variety. Data isn't just numbers in a spreadsheet. It can be a doctor's notes or even an MRI scan. Then there's veracity, and this one is huge because the data has to be accurate and trustworthy. And finally, the most important V of them all, value. The whole point of this is to turn all that raw information into something that actually makes a patient's life better. So that's tool number one. The second tool is modern marketing. And wow, has it changed over the years. We started by focusing only on the product, then we shifted to focusing on the customer, and then we moved to connecting with their values. All of that brings us right here to today, Marketing 4.0. Marketing 4.0 is really about blending our digital lives with our human, offline lives. So in healthcare, that means creating one smooth journey for the patient. It starts when you book an appointment on an app, continues with the personalized email you get afterwards, and includes the actual face-to-face chat you have with your doctor. It's all part of one seamless personal experience. Okay, so we've got these two powerful forces, right? Big data and Marketing 4.0. The researchers who did this study wanted to figure out exactly how they connect to make patients happier. So they built their whole investigation around 3 key questions. First off, does just having and analyzing a whole bunch of data all by itself make patients happier? Can you go straight from a spreadsheet to a smile? Second, they wanted to know if these two tools are directly linked. Basically, is big data analytics the fuel you absolutely need to make the engine of Marketing 4.0 run? And finally, the big one. Does all this new marketing stuff, all the personalization and digital tools, does it actually deliver on the promise? Does it create real, genuine patient happiness? So to get the answers, the study surveyed 450 employees all across the Saudi healthcare system. We're talking everyone from the front desk staff to senior executives to get a real inside look. And the results? Well, they were incredibly clear. So first things first, that second question about the link between data and marketing, the answer was a huge yes. They found a powerful, undeniable connection. Basically, to do modern marketing well, you absolutely need good data. It really is the fuel for the engine. But here is where it gets super interesting. When they measured what directly impacts patient happiness, they found that while both things had a positive effect, there was a clear winner. Big data on its own had a positive impact score of 0.30. But Marketing 4.0, it had a much stronger score of 0.50. So what's that telling us? It seems like data gives you the what, the crucial insights, but marketing gives you the how. It's the human-centered way you apply those insights that creates the biggest emotional payoff. So here's the bottom line, the biggest takeaway of all. Just having a mountain of data isn't enough.
It's what you do with it that changes everything. It's those data-driven strategies, the personal messages, the easy-to-use apps, that feeling of being truly understood. That's what makes the biggest difference in making patients feel genuinely happy. And this brings us to the big picture. So what does all this mean for the future of healthcare, not just in one country, but everywhere? The study actually gives us a pretty clear roadmap. The practical steps are actually pretty straightforward. First, healthcare providers need to invest in the big data tools to really understand their patients on a deeper level. Then, they need to bring in these modern marketing ideas to build real relationships. That means using the data to create tailored care for different kinds of patients. And maybe, most importantly, making sure this patient-first attitude is just part of the DNA of the whole organization. And this quote from the study's conclusion just sums it all up perfectly. It's that mix, a data-driven strategy combined with a truly patient-centered mindset, that leads to high-quality personalized care. And that's the real path to happiness. Which kind of leaves us with one last really fascinating thought. It seems like a contradiction, right? Using cold, hard data to create warm human feelings. But what this research suggests is that as our healthcare gets smarter, it might not get more robotic. It might actually get more human. The very tools that are analyzing us as data points might just be the key to making all of us feel more seen, more heard, and more cared for than ever before.